Well, as you can see, this turned out worse than I thought it was going to. As you can see here, we can see the floor now. We're blowing holes in this girl. So this part wasn't quite as rotted as I thought it was, but we're gonna go ahead and replace it. I could have actually stopped further up than I did, but it's okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the foreman some sheet metal so we could fill that back in with some good metal. Inside of here, oh come on, inside of here there is some surface rust. I'm gonna clean that up, scrape it up, and then we're gonna hit it with some of that rust reformer to make sure that it does not continue.
Alright guys, so last night I obviously finished welding all of this up. Now, this is going to take a bunch of grinding because, you know, this is easily 4 to 5 feet worth of weld here. So, yeah, I'm looking really forward to that. Okay, so this piece, now the underside was not compromised really, but there was severe pitting on the top side, like really deep rusted out pits. So what we'll do, since we cut this out, this is a perfect template, okay? So I'm just gonna flip it over, flatten it out with my hammer, and then use it as a template to trace on my sheet metal. Now, that being said, I am gonna have to put this rail in there. So I'll have to cut it and then bend the lip on it to match this side and this side over here. So yeah, so it all matches up. Man, I got a feeling this is going to be easier said than done. I might have to make it, I don't know, everything changes when you start putting edges in metal and stuff like that, like bending them. It changes the length of it and all that. So this is going to be interesting.
So as you can see, I've been sanding this down, making a little progress, but you see all these welds right here. You see I got all the black marks. Those little arrows right there, what that is where I welded this bolt to and used this slide hammer to pull that back out. It seems like whenever I cut this out initially, like when I first started the job, so I just cut all the rusted steel out, right? It seems like this edge, because you could see my weld seam was right here. You could see that, right? Well, it goes all the way down. And it's like whenever I cut that, there must have been some tension in the steel, because what it did was this piece, this little piece that was left over, angled down like that. So instead of it being straight, it kind of like went whoop. So I did my best to get this as close as possible. You guys saw me, like, I'd push down on the steel or raise it up or whatever in order to meet that nice and even, and then weld it in, right? Well, after that, because of the tension that was in this, it was still pushing down, so I just weld these studs on here and use a slide hammer to pull it back out where it needed to be in position. Now I'm going to have to tap it back with my hammer. I'm going to have to tap it back straight, grind it all smooth, Bondo in the little gaps and stuff like that, or just finish it with the welder or whatever. The goal is always to have as little Bondo as possible in any pretty much any body repair. Some people will pile that stuff on, but rule of thumb, all the old heads that taught me, I don't know if things have changed or something like that, but they always said use as little Bondo as possible. Try to make it all steel if you can. This thing is 99% done. There she is. Now, these seams right here, the edges, so I cut a bunch of slits so I could bend it easier. Now, when I welded that up, I got real lucky on this, where my 3/8 little belt sander fit like perfectly inside that radius and just went around like that. So that was perfect. I'm gonna do a little bit more cleanup down there. You can see the dark spots. Those are the low spots. Obviously the shiny ones are the high spots where they haven't been knocked down all the way yet, but it's really close. These little low spots right here around these welds and stuff, these will get a light coat of Bondo. We'll go over it. Yeah, this turned out really good, boys.